Hey y'all, it's Sharon. How y'all doing today? Lila and Quinn stayed all night with me last night. We had a good time, played Barbie fashion show for hours. Had some good food. Just had fun. Watched TV, stayed up late, got up early. Okay, we're gonna make the strawberry shortcake. I used to think I had to make pound cake to make a strawberry shortcake, but that's not the case anymore. Because you can do that if you want to, and I make a good homemade pound cake. I got a couple of good homemade pound cakes, but you know, homemade pound cake, that's a labor of love. Okay, I like the Sara Lee frozen pound cakes, and if I'm going to make this the night before, I unthaw them. Okay, I'm going to take y'all down and show you what I do with the first cake. Can y'all see that? I hope y'all having a good day today. I had a great day. My baby girl, the oldest, went with me to church, and she wanted to sit in service with me. That's fine. She's been to a little church, but she just wanted to go with me. I said, well, you might hear some grown-up things, and she, I done decided if she did and had questions, that was for her mama. Because Mimi might not answer those questions right. So it's a good day. Their mom and daddy come and got them and took them home. And I don't think they were quite ready to go home. And then you were going to make this. And I was also going to make them some chicken salad with fruit. But that's okay. I will try to take them some strawberry shortcake and some chicken salad with fruit. Because I try to make what they love to eat. Because, grandbabies is picky. They want McDonald's. They want stuff like that. And I think they really want the toy more than they want the food. Okay, you can put this in like a pretty bowl to make it look like make it look pretty and show the colors if you want to. But I'm just putting it in this where I can put a lid on it. Okay, you take that layer and I kind of push that layer down. I've crumbled it up. My hands are clean, and I kind of push that layer down. Y'all, I'm happy, but I'm kind of sad too. Ain't gonna lie to you. Today was the day, pretty much there's some changes coming along in my life. It being the God's will. I prayed for it to be God's will. I feel like it's God's will, and I feel like this is the best situation for that person. And it may be forever, and it may not be forever. But change is hard. And don't mean we can't still be sad about change. But, I feel like it'll all work out. And it'll be okay. Especially if it's for the goodness of you and others, and God wants you to have the goodness. Okay, I took my strawberries. I probably had about 4 to 5 cups of strawberries. The fresh ones, if they're in yet, I've not seen them. It's about time. I just got the ones in the containers. I have 3 containers, and this is all it made. So, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't cover every piece, because you're going to put this in the refrigerator and it's going to cover it, the juice. I think I did about 4.5, 5 cups of cut up berries. I washed them, cut them up, and 1.5 cups of sugar, because that's what makes the juice. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to get something to spread out the first thing of Cool Whip. Sorry about that. I ain't moving too quick today. Okay. Then again, a little bit of this Cool Whip's gone because baby girls wanted some Cool Whip. And Mimi don't tell them no about much unless it's something bad. Okay, we're going to take this first Cool Whip and just put it on top of the strawberries. Now, you can, like I said, you can put this in a smaller bowl. This is the only bowl that I had that I thought would that I had a cover for, and I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator. And like I said, it ain't gotta be fancy to be good. But you can make it fancy. You could actually put some blueberries in here too, if you wanted it 3 layers, and put it in a trifle bowl and have it for like Memorial Day or 4th of July, because you know May's coming up and all the flag and decorative stuff's coming out. Okay, now we're going to take the second Sara Lee. And like I said, you can make your own pound cake. And probably in April sometimes I'll make a lemon pound cake May. Because a lot of times I make people's favorite cakes or pie for their birthday. And I know my daughter-in-law, one of her favorite cakes, Lauren, is lemon pound cake with lemon cream cheese icing. Really, everybody loves that. I love just get a warm, fresh out of the oven pound cake. It ain't even got to have no icing. That's how my husband likes it too. Okay, we breaking up this other layer. Because this is more, it'll be cake light. It's going to be cake light. But it's more, you eat it with a spoon and dip some out. And don't worry if you don't have enough strawberries in it. Because when you reach in and get this, it's all going to be like together. And then it'll be plenty. If you're trying to watch your sugar, you can't. I don't know how to make a sugar-free pound cake. But if you do, you can do that. Or some people do angel food cake. That's not as good to me. But you can do however you want to, or however you're able to eat it. And you could also put Splenda in your strawberries. But if I'm going to make strawberry shortcake, I want it just the good way. Because I do believe less is more. I've always loved Dolly Parton my whole life. I loved her, and I loved Kenny Rogers when I was a young girl. I thought he was a very, very nice-looking older man. Then I ended up marrying a man that had black hair almost and blue eyes. Then he turned gray white at about 25, but with his beard, he kind of reminds me of young Kenny Rogers. But, get all that good juice. All that good juice. And at this point, you can even mix these. If you want to make sure it's evenly spread, you can even kind of mix it around with your fork or something. I might do that. Just let it get all spread around. And I could have put a smaller bowl. But, like I said, I did the bowl that I had. And this would really fit perfect in a trifle. And it really would do good with some, if you want it for color, some blueberries in it. But anyway, this is what Dolly said. Dolly said, remember when Dolly, she probably was in menopause like me, gained weight, and she went on a diet and lost a lot of weight. She said, people asked her how she lost weight. She said, I used the 2-bite rule. Sorry, I know I'm walking away, but I know you can still hear me. Dolly used the 2-bite rule. She said, I eat what I want, but I eat 2 bites of everything. Well, I ate more than 2 bites. But maybe she meant she had 10 foods on that plate and had 10 bites. And that's 20 bites. But you know what I'm saying. You can have a little bit of stuff. It's when you do too much of anything. That's where you get in trouble. And I know sometimes food is good, and I got the same habit. You just want more and more and more. But it really just makes you miserable anyway. And then you feel guilty. Or maybe you don't. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to mix this around. I want to tell you something else Quinn said in church today. Because, kids will say anything. She had been, I don't know how me and her got talking about baptism last week and being saved. But me and her and Lila got talking about baptism. And she's almost 9, Quinn is. She'll be 9 in July. She says, I want to get baptized, Mimi. She said, her friend, Abby Grace, got baptized. and she wanted to get baptized. I said, well, you know, that's good, but do you know why people get baptized? And she said, yes, I know. And I said, you have to ask Jesus into your heart, and you have to be saved and have a relationship with him. Then you get baptized. And but I know, hey, I ain't no professional. I just know that it says, whosoever believes shall not perish and have everlasting life. And God gives us grace and forgives us. So she wanted to go to the big church meeting. So at the end of church, I went down and asked Jonathan when the next baptism was. And he told me all about how you do it and fill it out online. And then you'll have a class or they'll talk to you. Because I told him, I said, I want to make sure, you know, that I tell her right or she knows what it is. And he says, you know, they're real good about breaking it down for kids. Well, we're walking to the car at church, and she looks at me. She says, I said, what? Jonathan's real nice, you know. And she said, yes. She says, Mimi, why didn't you marry him? I said, Quinn, he is the same age as your mother, and he has a beautiful wife and kid. Lord, Brandon's going to watch that one, because that little girl, she likes the men and likes the boys. Okay, I'm going to show y'all this and quit tying you up. And like I said, kind of like a happy day, but kind of like a sad day. But it's all going to work out, and it's all going to be hopefully for God's glory. Change is hard. Change is hard for anybody. This is actually why I started making these videos, because at first I thought, oh my Lord, I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to show you the strawberry shortcake. I mean, you could smooth this out more. You could put strawberries on top. You could put blueberries on top. And I will smooth this out more. You cover this, put it in the lid, put the lid on it, and let it sit in the refrigerator about 2 hours. I always say 2 hours. I don't know how long you let it sit to make everything just juice together and soften up. Okay, wait.